When you've got nowhere to go, into your heart I'll follow. Where we'll end, we'll never know. Into your heart I'll follow. Ooh, glowing in the dark, lighting up until tomorrow. Ooh, I never fall, right into your heart I'll follow. You've got nowhere to go. It's to your heart I'll follow. Where will end, we'll never know. It's to your heart I'll follow. You've got nowhere to go. It's to your heart I'll follow. Where will end, we'll never know. It's to your heart I'll follow. I found an oasis deep inside your heart. Undiscovered places I know you're never far. Ooh, glowing in the dark, lighting up until tomorrow. Ooh, I am never far, right into your heart I'll follow. When you've got nowhere to go, into your heart I'll follow. Where we'll end, we'll never know. Into your heart I'll follow. Into your heart I'll follow.
Multiple threats attacking. Multiple threats attacking. threat.
And I just had to like put like social media posts all over the different places.
All the places. You have to show proof of the your crop that you grew to post on Farmers Only.
100%. I had to make sure everybody knew that there are, there's actual corn here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Otherwise, if there's no corn, then nobody's gonna hit me up on Farmers Only.
Exactly.
That's how Farmers Only works, right?
It is. It's Farmers Only. Exactly.
I want to make sure.
And I would say 2 songs ago, it sounded like Hyrulean Lord.
It almost did. No, and the thing is, it was very obvious. Like there was very obvious Chinese influence on it, but it was super dope. This is what I love about this, specifically this playlist, is that I get new music like all the time. Like this, I guess that song came out yesterday.
Oh,
right. And because Monster Cat updates it, like whenever new songs come out. And it's a great playlist. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, playlist aside, let's get the show started.
Distance nerding.
Hey! It's some Mickey Mouse bullshit. What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
Let me just wear all the merch.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday. You know what day that is. It is the day where we hang out and usually talk to guests, but today it's just me and Graveyard. And that means we've got a whole shit ton of brackets we've got to catch up with.
Yes, we did. We have 2 brackets that we're in the middle of.
That's right. We still have best video game console that we're working on.
Mm-hmm.
What other bracket did we have?
Fantasy shows.
What's funny? I was like, I don't think we finished fantasy shows. And yeah, okay, so fantasy shows, we gotta get that going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you gotta take your time. These are the only brackets we have right now.
I mean, that's fine for me. I don't see that being much of an issue. Oh. And in the meantime, while we're doing all of this, I am still currently building the Tumblr of Batman fame, of the Dark Knight fame. Before we get into all of that, you guys can see it on the screen already. Before we get into all of that, ladies and gentlemen, this show is brought to you by the good folks over at the deliciousness that is Debbie. That's right. Debbie is a brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Debbie contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Find out more about Debbie at www.debbie.gg. Use the code NERDING10. Get 10% off your order. Very delicious, guys. I know Sandra Betty just got herself some Debbie flavors recently. I know that they just came out with a ramen flavor, and I really want that. So I think I'm going to be ordering some W pretty soon.
Nice.
But with that being said, Tater in the chat, Say Wong in the chat, Deadpool in the chat. I don't see DeLongs in here right now, but I did send them messages. I'm sure they are somewhere around. We've got brackets to get to.
Mhm.
Dub Sludge, and apparently they came out with a new flavor, like a new formula for Dub Sludge. So I'm interested.
A
They
new
also
formula.
a new formula for the Dub Sludge. They also came out with a new like dub flavor too. It's like I forgot what it's called. It's like dub something.
Wubba lub dub dub pickles.
That would probably be what they did if they did a pickle flavored one. It'd be like rubber lubba dub dubs.
Exactly. I'm still emailing them every single day for the pickle flavored W.
Have you actually been emailing them?
No. You'd be concerned if I was. Because they would probably do it. Because pickle flavored everything's happening right now.
That's true.
I've been walking down the grocery aisles and see pickle flavored things. I go, should I buy it for young Phil?
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
But, over on Twitch, I can give you pickle flavored things. And if people gift a sub, you can eat something pickle flavored.
God. I'm sorry. I was just coming across something as I was like going off of a page here. God, I don't know why this stuff keeps coming up on my feed, but like it's another like toxic male nerd group. I get like a lot of these like toxic male nerd groups, and I think it's just because they're like nerd groups, right? But this they got this whole thing like their clickbait is Thunderbolts box office bomb incoming, tracking as bad as the Eternals.
Not even close.
Yeah, and the best part is their sentence, the first sentence they go into after saying, the box office tracking and pre-sales for Thunderbolts are performing horribly, similar to Kevin Feige's bomb The Eternals. It's also said again that the Thunderbolts box office is tracking lower than Captain America Brave New World, Feige's latest bomb, which follows the massive bomb of The Marvels. Thunderbolts looks to basically be a sequel to, this is how I know the toxic, it's like the toxic male shitty guys, right? Thunderbolts looks to basically be a sequel to Black Widow, another Feige bomb, which focuses on Florence Pugh and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Who the hell wanted that? Oh, okay. They're that line alone.
Yeah, because they can't look at Florence Pugh and go, "I want to with her."
I'm sure that's the reason that they want this movie to fail, is because they want to do that and they feel that she doesn't deserve anything for being an amazing actress. Right? Like, oh, she's a wonderful actress. Her character is fucking awesome. Right? But these toxic males are sitting here going like, well, no, you can't, she can't be successful because only guys can be successful.
As they're typing that from their parents' basement.
Absolutely are. They 100% are typing that from their parents' basement
because they're not successful themselves.
Yeah, it's funny about that, right? It's always like the most. Oh God, Tyler is at my window with the fucking Warhead flavored pickle. All right, hold on. Just so everybody can see him. I guarantee you, he's actually there.
Oh.
Oh, not. Okay.
So he's lying to you.
He lied.
That's a shame. Such a liar, Tater.
No worries, because I said it. He'll be there in like 5 minutes. He's just gonna walk up over here. So yeah, just throwing it out there, guys. I'm already starting to see all the toxic like nerd bomb assholes. And apparently they're already talking about wanting to nerd bomb, or they're basically gonna start bombing this movie, which is absolutely stupid because all of the everything that is like people describing this movie, like everyone who's describing this movie are all saying that this movie is gonna be amazing.
Yeah. I know. I watched someone's video that said it's in his top 3.
Yeah,
all Glover films. So I mean, yeah, granted, the Marvels was pretty low on that list, so rightfully so. That was not a good movie.
I don't know. I don't have the same problems a lot of other people had with it, and I think most of the like I see where some people have some issues with that movie.
Mhm.
And I mean, like some of it is unwarranted. There are genuine issues with some of the writing in it where, uh, some of the characters aren't as developed as they should be. There is a massive plot hole um, in Kamala Khan willing to destroy an entire planet to prove a point.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, that is a plot that is a plot hole that I agree wasn't the greatest, but at the same time, it does have really good fight scenes. There are decent, and the villain's pretty one dimensional. But I mean, like,
Oh, the villain's very one dimensional.
yeah. But I mean, at the same time, it's a popcorn movie, and I mean, they do get that right. The action scenes are great.
The dance scene.
I don't care about the dance scene as much as a lot of other people do. Just because there is a story reason for it, and I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I mean, there was a reason there, and it was well produced. So
Yeah, like I said, for me, it's always that one's always going to be in the back half.
Yeah,
there's so many. Not everything can be good. Not everything can be excellent. I think Eternals was fantastic for what it was. They took a lot of characters and they made something with it. Now, was it a Marvel movie? No, it wasn't. It was an indie art house movie that's trying something new, something different.
right.
And
I get why a lot of people were upset about the sex scene. Like, okay, Marvel's first sex scene. Did we need that? Probably not. But
we don't know that. We don't know what those creatures were doing and what Peter Quill was doing while singing to the creature. That could have been sex for it. We don't know.
Well, I mean, we know that Pete was like, banging different like aliens and shit. But I mean, like, they had like a legit sex scene in that movie, and it's like, okay, yeah. I don't know that we need that in a family film.
Always, all sex scenes all the time.
That's
what Secret Invasion was missing.
Yeah, I was listening. I was actually listening to why am I blanking right now? Mark Bernardin earlier today. And Mark Bernardin was talking about specifically like bring back adult movies, because right now everything is geared towards like, okay, we need the most mass appeal, right?
Yeah.
Bring back movies that are made for adults that don't necessarily need kids to see them, that kids want to sneak into and go see.
That was the first Deadpool.
Yeah, very much so. The first Deadpool. I mean, technically the second one was along that, but they made a PG-13 movie version of it.
Yeah.
Right now, that's Sinners. Right, because they were actually reviewing Sinners, and that's where he came up with the idea where he started talking about that was, like, this is the kind of movie that 13-year-old me, or like, he was like, like 12, 13-year-old me wanted to go see. Probably wasn't ready to go see, but still wanted to go see it because it was rated R.
Yeah, well, horror movies are great for that.
Yeah, and then he was talking about just bringing back originality is like the big thing. Like, we need to go back to original stories rather than doing the same recycled stories and the same types of movies over and over again.
Yeah, but those exist. It's not from Hollywood.
Yeah, but that's what they're saying is that because eventually superhero movies are going to go the way of the Western.
Oh yeah,
where it's just like that was all they made in Hollywood for the longest time, and then it fell to the wayside, and now nobody makes them. And every now and then you'll get a Western, and it's like a great Oscar-worthy movie, but it's like for the most part they don't do Westerns anymore.
Well, I mean, we had blow 'em up action movies in the 80s.
Right.
Hell, we got Jim Cotta, and that didn't kill the craze. All right, you ready to get into these brackets?
Absolutely, I'm always ready to get.
What would you like to do first? Should we do fantasy shows or should we do video game consoles?
Well, given that the fantasy shows are like that's the older bracket that we still haven't finished, I think we should probably do that one.
Okay. And this is Shadoo's request. He's not even here for
He's
it.
not even here for it. God damn it,
I
Shadoo.
know. I know.
We did this for you, Shadoo.
We did. All right. So the recap.
You're not even fucking here, man, asshole.
To recap the first round that we had, Game of Thrones beat out The Walking Dead. American Gods somehow pulled the stake out and beat Vampire Diaries. The Witcher beat out True Blood, which I'm surprised about. Sweet Tooth beat out Lost.
I think the whole thing with Lost is people just still feel betrayed from that ending.
Yeah. The Stand beat out The Discovery of Witches. The one I should not have put on here, but I did. The Mandalorian beat out Percy Jackson. Invincible beat out Lucifer. Castle Rock beat out Rings of Power. Supernatural beat out Penny Dreadful. Castlevania beat out What We Do in the Shadows, which is very surprising.
Castlevania beat out What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's surprising. Charmed beat out Arcane. Buffy the Vampire Slayer beat out Stranger Things. Angel beat out The Magicians. House of the Dragon beat out Secret Level. Sandman beat out Grimm. And rightfully so, Ash versus Evil Dead beat out Wheel of Time.
Rightfully so. Beat out
Rightfully
Wheel
so.
of Time.
Yes, rightfully so. All right. And then we got into the next round. Game of Thrones beat out American Gods. So people aren't butthurt about the Game of Thrones ending enough to say it was not better than American Gods. And The Witcher beat out Sweet Tooth.
The Witcher beat out Sweet Tooth, huh?
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
So first up, we have The Stand versus The Mandalorian.
The Stand versus The Mandalorian. Both great properties.
Uh-huh.
Do I lean more Star Wars nerd or do I lean more fucking
One of the best books ever made.
but fucking who's the name on the writer? God damn it.
Stephen King.
Stephen King.
Yeah.
I'm like he's fucking considered one of the greatest writers of all time. I'm forgetting his fucking name right now.
Yeah. Wow, 3 votes for Mandalorian. I knew I should have put it in here. Should not have put it in there.
3 votes for The Mandalorian over The Stand.
Yeah, the greatest book ever written. One of the greatest books. Sorry, the second one, The Shining is probably the greatest book. The Stand is a close second.
Well, we know Graveyard is a big fan of Stephen King novels.
That I am. James, do you even know what The Stand is?
James is in the chat for once.
Yeah, he's like, this is the book club. Chat, just so you're aware, if Mandalorian wins this all, there'll be no more Star Wars stuff and things that aren't Star Wars.
Like, there's no reason The Mandalorian should be beating an entire fantasy genre.
Correct. What about the Bible? This is a TV show, James. TV shows. Fantasy TV shows.
He's like, the Bible is the greatest fantasy book ever written.
Sack Deadpool, I voted for The Stand as well. Just so you know. What say you, Phil? I mean, it's going to swing to one particular spot, but what's your opinion?
we're talking fantasy genre, so I want to lean towards The Stand.
Uh-huh.
But The Mandalorian is so fucking good. Like it shouldn't be in this genre, honestly.
Then stop talking about books. Okay. We'll do that, James. We were talking about Invincible. Don't talk about the comic books. But you're going Mandalorian?
I'm saying like the Mandalorian shouldn't be in this category. Just
Yeah.
because it's not. I mean, it is fantasy, but it's not like what we would consider fantasy. I mean, I consider that more sci-fi, anyways. But I mean, you know,
I mean, it has magic, which makes it fantasy, unfortunately. If it was just about bounty hunters with no special powers, it would not be fantasy at all. But
yeah,
Grogu makes it fantasy.
he's raising himself a little Jedi, so yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with my intuition, and this may piss some people off. I'm gonna go with The Stand.
All right. Well, unfortunately, Mandalorian still moves forward regardless.
That
Stand is just an amazing fantasy apocalyptic story. And there's this great theory about the Bible, and it ties into Norse mythology. Lasers aren't fantasy. Lasers are real. Lasers exist.
the question is are the lasers as advanced as they are in Star Wars? No, they're not.
But they exist.
They do exist.
The Force does not. Nor will it ever.
Yeah, your midichlorian count will never be that high.
Exactly. Do you ever? Ooh. I have an interesting theory.
I think Sandra's at the store right now. She just texted me and said, "Speaking of little Jedi," and it's just a bunch of fucking little Grogus.
Yes. Here's a theory for you. You ready for it?
Yeah.
The Grogus and Yoda species are only so powerful in the Force because they eat other Force creatures.
Oh, I've heard this. I've heard this theory
I've never heard that.
because Grogu is continuously fucking eating everything that he comes across.
Yeah.
Which I remember when they first started bringing that up, they were like, "Well, Grogu. The fact that Grogu eats everything is like proof that that they're carnivores."
Right. But that's the thing. Like, because, you know, in America, we have so much corn in our diet. Corn's now part of our DNA. Is that how midichlorians work? Hmm?
So if we continue to eat fucking midichlorian rich beings,
Yeah.
so we just need to find our way into a fucking galaxy that has like midichlorian beings in it.
Basically, eat Grogu.
Yeah. We need to eat ourselves some fucking Grogu.
Exactly. Mm-mm. That's how they're really going to get his midichlorian count from him.
Yummy you are.
Moff Gideon was just going to, put him on a rotisserie stick. All right, Mandalorian's moving forward.
Good
All right.
food. Good food.
Exactly. And maybe Yoda was feeding Luke some midichlorians to be stronger to go against Vader.
Oh god, there is a fucking that is the fucking theory of the day right there, dude. That's the fucking theory of the day, is that Yoda, the food that Yoda was giving Luke specifically was like Force creatures that he could like absorb their fucking midichlorian. Oh my god. That is both haunting and amazing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a theory that we need to have made. Frank, clip that. That's going to be our new jokes. Frank, clip that.
The theory that Loki survived Ragnarok, became the god in the Bible, and that Baldur demigod was his son and Jesus. It's not a wrong theory. The Bible, spoiler alert, stole from every other religion.
It did.
Just throwing it out there.
I don't think people really understand how Christianity works.
God is Zeus. Period. All right. Next up, Speaking of gods, Invincible versus Castle Rock.
Again, I don't feel like Invincible should be in this thing. It's like, because do we consider an Invincible? Do we really consider that fantasy?
I consider it a superhero genre.
Yeah, like I feel like that's a genre on its own.
Yeah, and I mean it's top rated fantasy. A lot of people have said it, so I threw it on there. According to the grave, the Bible stole from the Stand book. It did.
Stole from the Stand.
He didn't say what Bible. He said the Bible. There's lots of versions of Bibles out there, James. This is a graveyard Bible.
There you go.
That's what says, James. Screw your bracket rules. Okay. I'm saying Castle Rock because Castle Rock has a lot of fantasy in it, a lot of mystery, a lot of like time travelness that doesn't work that way. There's creatures, there's monsters.
I'm kind of leaning the same way because Castle Rock was 100% a fantasy TV show. I mean, it's meant to tie in all of Stephen King's properties. So I mean, I kind of want to be that way too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost to the same level, not to the same level, but almost to the same level that the Dark Tower ties in all of these.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Tower is pure fantasy. For sure.
Right.
Especially when they go to our world and hit Stephen King with a car. Oh, cocaine's a hell of a drug. Stephen King.
Stephen King wrote it.
He did. He did. That's what I talked to.
It's like Simpsons did it, but with Stephen King.
Oh yeah.
Stephen King did it. Stephen King did it.
Exactly. All right, chat. Let us know. Invincible or Castle Rock for the better fantasy show. And the only thing I don't like about Talk Studio is I cannot see how many people are currently in chat.
It says 7.
It says 7?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Taylor says Castle Rock. Sweet. Oh. Zach D. Love it. I think Castle Rock's going to move forward. Sorry, James. Unless chat comes in here and blows it up with Invincible.
That's right. If you want to vote a certain way, guys, as much as I hate to give you this option, tell your friends. Tell your friends to get in the chat right now and tell them, hey, I need you guys to vote for this way right now because I'm right, you're wrong.
Exactly.
I'm big, you're little.
Tater's never seen Invincible.
Oh, Tater.
James, have you seen Castle Rock?
I hope you watched Castle Rock because I want to say we covered that when it was on TV.
I hope so. It's a fantastic show.
And if you haven't seen it, guys, I know most of you guys have Hulu. Go watch it. It's really good.
It's got Skarsgård in it.
It's got Skarsgård right after he played Pennywise.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, which I kind of was hoping that he was gonna like show up as Pennywise again.
Oh, Se Wong says Invincible.
Don't get me wrong, Invincible's a fucking great show. It's one of those shows that, I was not willing to wait for that show. I watched that week to week.
Yes.
And this last season fucking was amazing.
I have a couple episodes left this season.
Oh, man. When you get to the season finale, man, it is... for lack of a better description, it is a fucking barn burner.
Sweet. Well,
Yeah.
listen, I'm behind because of the new job and timing and everything. So
Yeah, no, I get you.
it's been fun. Been fun. All right. Well, Castle Rock is moving forward. Now, next up, we have a history of a family throughout history killing vampires and Dracula over and over and over with their whips and their holy water of Castlevania versus two brothers in a 69 Chevy Impala hunting things, saving people, family business, supernatural.
Ooh, okay. That I know where I'm going, but I know I'm also wrong.
Where are you going?
I 100% am going with Castlevania. I love. I know. Mainly because I didn't actually watch Supernatural, so
For shame, sir. For shame. I mean, I'm definitely going Supernatural. If you want a fantasy show, that's it.
just the way that they did Castlevania is also just it is a really, really well done show.
Oh my God! Say Wong voted for the animated show. The shock.
The horror. Given I also voted for the animated show, but I mean,
Yeah, I think Supernatural, yes, is yes. I'm sure. Whoa! He said the game was very fantasy. That's correct. We're talking about the game. If we're going James here, we're not talking about the things these are based off of.
talking about the actual shows, James.
They'll say Wong says because the game was fantasy. You thought the last episode of Supernatural was a great send off, Zach Deadpool? Ooh, that's a hot take because I strongly disagree. I think the pandemic ruined the finale of Supernatural because they couldn't get everyone there. So,
And I hear that a lot. I hear a lot of people who were upset with how the show went out.
yeah, I agree. We're waiting for season 16 to come out. Granted, I stopped watching it at like season 13.
Well, The Boys apparently is supposed to be the season 16 finale.
We'll see. Because everyone's coming back for it.
Right. They got basically all the main characters from Supernatural are going to be in the new season of The Boys.
Yeah. What Supernatural needs is to be on Showtime or HBO or Amazon or Netflix where they can actually cuss.
I was going to say Amazon or Netflix, man. That would probably be the best place to send them to.
Yeah, because, when you're literally saving the world, you should be able to go, I'm sorry, sick and tired of all this bull crap. No, the world's word is bullshit.
Sick and tired of all this bull crap.
Yeah.
The way you address me right now is bull crap.
Supernatural needs to have a crossover Gilmore Girls when they're confused on who Dean really is. Sam was on Gilmore Girls. He played a character called Dean on Gilmore Girls. And they did technically have that little crossover episode where they went there. So.
That's another thing I always hear is everybody talking about that needs to be, it's the crossover everybody wants.
I mean, Supernatural crossover with Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, but that makes sense.
They got into a possessed TV and became into an episode of Scooby-Doo where they go, wait, these things really are real? And then like Fred has like a panic attack and goes into just like into a corner cowering. Hilarious.
But was Fred played by Freddie Prinze Jr.?
No.
Then no one cares.
You saying that the OG Fred doesn't count for anything?
When you say OG Fred,
I'm saying Frank Welker.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I say, when you say OG Frank, are you saying that Welker came on the show and played Fred?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. He was the voice of Fred.
No, but were the Winchesters in the cartoon?
Yes.
Okay, well, I thought they did like a live action crossover and was like,
no.
Like they did like another like another person like playing Freddy in live action, but it's like shitty CW style.
No. And it's they ruined Fred's world. So.
Yeah, no, then that fucking wins just because it's fucking Welker.
Exactly. All right, Sandra, I don't think you voted. We need your vote, Sandra, because honestly, it's a tie right now between Castlevania and Supernatural. It's Castlevania was a good show. I'm not going to lie; it was a fantastic show. I also thought it was weird that like Dean was hitting on Daphne, even though she's like 15. And he was probably like 45 at the time.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the writers were probably fucking perverts. So
all right, well, thank you, Sandra, for the vote. Supernatural is moving on.
Nice.
Now, this is one that Frey might have a hard time picking over. Maybe.
So Buffy the Vampire Slayer versus
Charmed.
Oh shit! Really, Buffy?
Yeah.
Okay, so Buffy versus Charmed.
Yeah.
Ooh. Are we going witches or are we going vampire slayers?
I mean, technically, there's only like one vampire slayer, and there's more witches than vampire slayers in Buffy. But we got Oz, we got Allison Hannigan. Charmed gave us,
more massive boners because Buffy gave us a buffer. I mean, it happened.
Yeah.
But Charmed was chock full of it too.
That was on purpose. Boobs out galore. Tater says Angel. We're getting there, Tater. We're getting there.
Yeah, we'll talk Angel in a little bit, man. Angel has survived at this point.
Somehow, through it all. The Aurora Borealis. I mean, David Borealis. Okay, there's if you want Papa Paycheck Pascal, you go Buffy. If you want Bruce Campbell, go Charmed.
Was there an early Pedro
in Buffy? Sure was. Sure was.
I know Pedro's been acting for like years. He's been around for like a lot longer than people realize he's been around for.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's 50.
Yeah,
he's 50. Rip Michelle, I agree. Harriet the Spy.
Yeah.
So
Schackenberg, she played her sister, right?
Yeah, which most people absolutely hated Dawn in Buffy. But we also had Shannon Doherty in Charmed until they got rid of her and brought Rose McGowan instead.
I mean, I had individual crushes on each of them, so
I don't think I ever had a crush on Shannon Doherty.
I had one. I had an early one on Shannon Doherty. Definitely had a Rose McGowan crush.
Oh yes,
especially after Monkey Bone.
Yes. So, what are you going for, Phil?
I'm trying to think, like, whose lore am I more into? That's what's making me feel like I'm leaning more towards, like, a vote towards.
Oh, Buffy had way more lore.
And that's kind of like where I'm leaning. I'm kind of like intuition is making me lean towards Buffy.
Yeah. There were stakes with Buffy. Buffy actually had to figure things out, learn spells and incantations, stuff like that. Charm goes, oh, frozen. Oh, let me flick my hands. Fireball, demon vanquished. All right, next. I am going Buffy.
Yeah, I think I stick with Buffy too.
I mean, we did have Captain Tight Pants in Buffy as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so 2 votes for Charmed. I said, I never watched the remake of Charmed that they did.
They remade Charmed?
Well, yes, it was 3 different sisters. It wasn't good, and my wife is a huge Charmed fan. She hated the new one.
Was it on
Yes.
on CW?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it was.
Yeah. So Buffy is moving forward. Frey should be happy with that, I think. All right, next up. Tater, we're here for you finally. Angel versus Hot D. House of the Dragon.
God. All right.
If you want off of fantasy stuff, I'd say House of Dragon is more high fantasy, but fantasy.
Well, so like I said, like I liked Angel. I was one of the few guys that actually liked Angel, but
Never watched it.
I think off the bat, as much as I did like Angel, I 100% am going Hot D. House of the Dragon is so well done.
Yes, a story of dragons and incest. I completely agree. House of the Dragon. Angel, it never really interested me. I never liked David Boreanaz's character of Angel in Buffy. I think he was awful.
The weird
Come at me. I don't care.
He's like, oh, the weird vampire, the weird yet somehow still kind of sexually attractive vampire dude.
Yeah. Frey will kill him. She will. When Frey decides she's had enough of this world, she will destroy it and move somewhere else.
What happens when you're a god of destruction?
Exactly. Angel is basically Edward Cullen, but without the sparkly in the sun.
Every Cullen, but without the sparkly in the sun. Oh, that's good.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. They're saying Angel. I said, what? The only reason to watch Angel was Amy Ackers in Angel?
I think she was.
Okay, that'd be the only reason to watch Angel then.
I want to say Allison Hannigan was like somewhat in that show too.
I'd say barely. Barely. Oh, and I can't think of her name, but the nosy Dorothy from WandaVision. Right? She was like a demon that turned into a human because she loved Xander.
Oh God.
Not Cordelia. I don't know their names.
I kind of remember that storyline now. Given I haven't watched Angel since like the fucking 90s, bro. So it's like I may remember it like differently.
Yeah. All right, chat.
And I watched Angel because it came on after fucking Raw, so it was like,
yeah, I can see that.
It's really like a lot of those shows in the 90s. I only watched them because they came on after Monday Night Raw.
Comics in the house.
Oh shit! Comics podcast.
Yeah.
We need your opinion, sir. I'm assuming that's Esteban, but I mean, like, need your opinion, sir. We are currently voting between Angel, the show from the 90s, Angel, versus Hot D, House of the Dragon, which is a better show.
Yeah.
Or what is a better fantasy show?
Yeah, we're doing fantasy shows. And Sack Deadpool, David is supposedly a real dick in real life, which is fair. I've heard that too, that David Boreanaz doesn't like the fans or anyone else. Tater, I got you marked down for Angel. You're the one that said Angel so far. The 9 other people besides Tater, let us know.
And there are other people in the chat conversing with us. So, guys. Oh, well, Sack Deadpool said House of the Dragon.
Yes. All right.
Say Wong said House of the Dragon.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool. Not Angel, says James. Girl Mode, you haven't seen either Angel or House of the Dragon. I'm just, yeah. Listen, with 1 vote for Angel, House of the Dragon, or Hot D, it's definitely moving forward.
I got a hot D for you.
All right. Last. Well, it's all the way in California. All right. The last matchup of this round. Everyone's favorite pocket sand mythical beast, Sandman. Because he gets pocket sand.
Pocket sand.
Versus Ash versus the Evil Dead.
We already know where you're going, so you don't even have to tell us.
Oh, of course. Of course. I mean, name me all the fantasy things that Sandman had.
The entire show is fantasy.
What's Ash versus Evil Dead? All fantasy.
Nope.
All fantasy all the time.
All fantasy all the time. Oh, yeah. All right.
The Man of Sand, says James. Of course. Of course.
No, I'm going to disappoint you right now about Sandman.
What's that? All the votes went to Ash versus Evil Dead? I don't know how that happened.
It was rigged. It was rigged.
Hold on. So we have, not Ash, says James. Sack Deadpool says Ash. That's 1. Sandman, James. Comic says Ash versus Evil Dead. Taylor says Ash versus Evil Dead.
Wow. Ash versus the Evil Dead might take it.
How's it going, Eric? We got it, James. Sandman. We know you voted for him because you like pocket sand, and that's okay. That's okay.
Pocket sand.
Exactly. I mean, tell me you wouldn't see that Sandman show if it was Dale Gribble as Sandman.
Go, absolutely. If it was Dale Dribble as the Sandman, I'd be all over it.
Everyone else at Papa Murphy's says Sandman. Padme, no. Now the question is, though, are people just saying Ash because Ash is in the chat, or are they saying Ash because they're saying Ash versus Evil Dead? I'm counting. Anytime you say Ash, it's Ash versus Evil Dead. Just so you know.
Look at that. I'm able to put the chat on the screen.
What? Sweet. James is in the bracket here.
I'm trying to see if I can add a.
Okay. Look at that. Look at all these ashes.
Okay, so there's an alert box on here too. So I don't know. I don't think I have alerts set up for this, but
Oh.
I'm trying to see if there's a poll. So then that way we can just like set up a poll and you can just have people vote.
Only vote once, I hope.
I mean, if you can set up a poll, I'm sure it would be that way.
Well, okay, so
There's a cloud bot I can set up. I don't know if that would keep track of it.
ooh. Well, that being all said, then it is all
Ash versus the Evil Dead.
yeah,
Wow.
and it's okay because he's moving on forward anyway. Yeah, it's just all right. We are back up to our final 8 for the best fantasy shows. We have The Witcher versus Game of Thrones.
The Witcher versus Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
As much as I like The Witcher, it ultimately goes to Game of Thrones. It is just a superior show.
I mean, in fairness, they do have coffee. They do have Starbucks coffee in Westeros.
They do have Starbucks coffee in Westeros.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. Starbucks is in Westeros.
It all started there, yes. So Westeros is just Seattle, is what you're saying. Got it. I like it.
Goddamn Westerosi.
Yeah. Game of Thrones was a game changer. It was.
I mean, basically every network and every channel is trying to recreate their Game of Thrones. So the fact that every network, when they say that, oh, that could be their Game of Thrones, is that's fact enough that Game of Thrones had more influence than anybody else.
Yeah. Comics is saying Witcher because the last season of Game of Thrones was a dumpster fire.
Oh, it was. It was. You're not wrong. The last season of Game of Thrones was absolutely horrendous.
But in fairness, it still continued the incest and dragons theme they had throughout the entire show. It was just primarily that.
Which, I mean, that's George R.R. Martin started that theme, so.
He did. He did. Yeah. You need what? Huh?
You need to be slapped, Eric.
Oh.
Oh, he said, I've never seen an episode of either of those shows.
What? Oh, man. Wiener, 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 wiener.
Wiener, 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 wiener. What was it for? Wieners standing next to more wieners.
If you're on Twitch, you can play that right now. It's there.
Oh no! I don't have this on Twitch. We're only broadcasting on YouTube now.
Ah, never mind then.
Yeah.
You know, Eric, you could work and watch stuff. I mean, maybe
We do it all the time. How often am I in your streams while I'm working, dude? Like, we do like a game stream, and I'll be on top of a ladder listening.
only YouTube. Yeah, 9 to 5. But why? All right, chat. We only have 3 votes so far. Well, 3 votes, and Eric, who's not seen any of them, she's not voting. So, chat.
I guess, Eric, vote for whichever one you're more interested in seeing. And that's like a loaded weapon, because that you could go the route like that Jackie would go, and that's that she doesn't want to watch either of them.
Oh, he said Witcher.
I've tried to get Jackie to watch Game of Thrones. She cannot do it. It's mostly because she can't just sit back and not pay attention.
Oh, huh. Yeah, I watched all of it with my wife.
Multiple boyfriends before me tried to get her to watch Game of Thrones, and she couldn't do it. And I keep telling her,
how many boyfriends does Jackie have? My goodness.
I keep telling her you have to get through season 1. Season 1's a little slow. And I mean, it's a dialogue driven show, so it's just kind of like, yeah, you got to pay attention to everything. But like, given she's also never seen Lord of the Rings and has no desire to watch Lord of the Rings,
which is interesting considering she likes old cinema, which is very dialogue driven movies.
Yeah.
So therefore, I would think she would like dialogue-driven shows. Huh. All right. Well,
Not interested in any of this. I think a lot of it is also just the fantasy of it is like it just takes her out of it. She has no interest in fantasy as a genre. So
I mean, we barely get dragons, and we barely get White Walkers through the entire thing. If it's more dialogue heavy and wieners.
yeah, I think it's just like part of it's for her is boring, and I'm telling her like it's one of those shows where you have to get through the first season because the story is so intricately woven, and by the end you have an investment in the characters, and you're like, oh, this is so good, and whatever characters you have an attachment to, they all die.
Yep. It's basically taught you not to love anyone on TV.
But there's also a level of at this point, because she's never watched it, she enjoys being a part of the group of people that can say, well, no, I've never watched Game of Thrones. Because it's like a badge of honor to be able to say, I've never seen Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings. And it's like, it's kind of like the way
my sister says she's never seen anything Star Wars related.
Well, I was going to say, it's kind of the same thing where, like, for the longest time, she had never seen anything Star Wars and then watched Star Wars and was like, okay, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. My sister's never seen it. And my son has just got recently so obsessed with Star Wars. I go, hey, when we see my sister next, you should go tell her everything about Star Wars.
Auntie, let me tell you about Star Wars. What did you do?
Exactly. All right.
One of those moments where she doesn't just say your name; she says like your full name.
Oh yeah.
Like Graveyard's name. What did you do? That's how you know it's like, oh yes, I win.
Oh, I always win.
You like how I did that? It's like as much as I wanted to say your name, I was like, Graveyard's name.
Yes. All right. Well, Game of Thrones is moving forward. Next up, we have Mandalorian versus Castle Rock.
The Mandalorian versus the Castle Rock.
Yes. You're overdue for Lord of the Rings Director's Cut Marathon. That's like a day investment. It really is. It is. When they came out, probably like 2007, my buddy's like, I've never seen Lord of the Rings. We should watch them all at night. I go, no. Comics is saying, never seen Castle Rock.
Such a good show, guys.
Oh. I'm going Castle Rock.
I don't know. I kind of want to say Castle Rock just because of like the nature of what we're voting on.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're voting on fantasy shows, and
right.
I think that Castle Rock fits that vein more, whereas Star Wars is more genre. Star Wars is more. I don't feel like Star Wars is necessarily fantasy.
Correct. I agree. It's definitely sci-fi.
Yeah.
Wow, James, you really want no more Star Wars in any bracket, do you? This is what you can get, chat. Relish this.
Mando, game changer.
Yes, the change of the game was Star Wars was good again.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. That was the game changer.
What did it change? It brought Star Wars back to a level that it should have been at a long time ago.
Exactly. So, Phil, ultimately, what do you say?
Between Castle Rock and Mandalorian. I'm gonna go Castle Rock just because, again, I feel like Castle Rock fits the vein of fantasy more than Star Wars does. Star Wars is more sci-fi. Star Wars is more genre to me. As much as I love the Mandalorian, like I feel like in the debate of what is the better fantasy show, not what is the better show, but what is the better fantasy show. Castle Rock fits the mold better for me, so I'm gonna go with Castle Rock.
Yep, just you and me in that boat up in Maine, where they have towns full of rabid dogs and clowns that are clearly related to Mary Poppins.
It's a trip because they make references to like Pet Cemetery and Cujo in that show.
Oh yeah, easily. Everything's referenced in that show.
Yeah.
Dwayne Castle Rock Johnson. He would go, wait, castles aren't jungles. I can't be there.
I want to say, like in the opening scene, they reference Cujo.
Oh, they did.
They not only did they reference Cujo, they referenced Christine too.
Yep. Space lizards, Lord. All right. Well, Mandalorian is moving forward. Remember, chat. Remember.
He watches bad movies, so you don't have to.
Exactly. This is your last hurrah for anything Star Wars related and something that's not sci-fi. All right. Next up, we have Buffy the Vampire Slayer versus Supernatural. I know what Frey's vote is.
So we will count her vote because we know what it is.
Yes. I am going to say that they both pretty much hit on the same lore. Angels, demons, vampires, witches, werewolves, all that stuff. But I would say that Buffy is more of a teen show than fantasy, while Supernatural is more of a fantasy show that has family. They actually do a lot more supernatural stuff than Buffy is. They go deep into the lore that Buffy never really gets around to doing. Yes, also they had twice as many episodes, but
I don't know. The family.
Mm-hmm. So it says, as far as a better fantasy show, that's what I'm going with. How about you?
Supernatural.
Yep.
Well, I've only watched one of the two shows.
If Buffy was so good, there'd be 15 seasons too.
No contest.
Thanks, Zach Deadpool. I said Supernatural, like I said, hits a lot more stuff. It's this is the tropes of shows, right? Because everyone has the time travel episode, everyone has the bottle episode, everyone has the time loop episode where they have to relive the same day over and over and over and change something and try to figure out how to get into it, right?
Everybody really does.
Yeah. And if you realize that, there's one show that started all that. Do you remember what it was? Where all that stemmed from?
Twilight Zone?
Yes and no, but like a serial.
Twilight Zone had time travel episodes. Time travel. They had they had a lot of that.
That's an anthology, like a serial show that follows that same format. Yeah. And you're right, Zach did pull us the Brady Bunch. What happened to Cousin Oliver? Where'd he go?
Marsha.
The original Star Trek.
Oh yeah.
They did all that. All the sci-fi, all the fantasy, all the supernatural shows followed that formula of it. Now Buffy coined Monster of the Week.
Right.
But that existed before Buffy. Because X-Files did it. And it wasn't until I rewatched the original Star Trek TV show that I realized that all that happened in that OG series.
Yeah.
But you going Buffy, Phil?
I think I go Buffy on this.
Yeah. So, all right. So it's 2-2. So we have. Oh, hold on. 3-2. Supernatural is winning. Yeah, Supernatural, like I said, it yes, they eventually just got into demons and angels for like 8 seasons, but I think they were just quintessential fantasy with everything that's there.
Yeah.
Yes, you did give your vote, Zach Deadpool. Got it. All right. Well, Frey is going to come and kill us all because Supernatural's moving forward.
Oh, you guys have evoked the rage of the Fray!
I mean, she likes Supernatural as well, so I think she'd be okay-ish with it. Just,
Yeah, well, I was planning on living.
yeah, Phil will be spared. He's the only one that's being spared.
Is Jen in the chat right now?
No.
Okay, I thought she was in the chat. But she comes in and goes, Phil will be spared.
Yeah, she would. She would. She hears talking about Buffy and you go, whoa, 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 and just jump in. And just jump in.
She just like ends up on the show.
Supernatural made it to 5th base. Yes.
Supernatural made it to 5th base.
All right. To our final 4, we have House of the Dragon against Ash versus Evil Dead.
We're about to upset Graveyard.
I know. I'm fully aware. You know my vote.
100% the guy he named his son after.
Yep. I don't have half a sleeve for Game of Thrones. I have a half a sleeve for Evil Dead. Ooh, House of the Dragon. Oh, this is getting tighter right now. Here we go. Phil, are you on House of the Dragon?
I'm going House of the Dragon. Come on.
I mean, it's fair. It is absolutely fair. It is, fantasy. I guess in the world where these creatures exist, they're just animals and people. That's fantasy. Is it fantasy to them?
3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. All right. I was like, I gotta count this real quick, and I want to laugh. So I was like,
Have I seen The Bondsman on Prime? I have not. I need to watch it. Comics.
heard it's good. Heard it's really good.
Kevin Bacon, essentially the RIPD.
Right. I was like, it's RIPD if RIPD was done correctly.
Yeah. I agree exactly. Damn you all with your vote for dragons and incest. All right. Well, that means House of the Dragon is moving forward. That also means that 2 of the 4 fantasy shows are in the Game of Thrones universe.
Are written by George R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
Or influenced by George R.R. Martin in the case of the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. All right. We're almost there for all the potatoes.
Which means that Graveyard is not happy about any of the answers.
I'm not happy with one of these being here. All right. To make it to the final round, we have Game of Thrones versus Mandalorian. Please tell me, chat, that you don't think that Game of Thrones is less fantasy than Mandalorian.
Game of Thrones 100% wins that. It better fucking win it or I'm disappointed.
Yeah, it's Game of Thrones. Because then it goes, oh, there's space wizards. Yeah, there's wizards in Game of Thrones. Next.
What is it? It's dark. The night is dark and full of terrors. Okay.
Oh man, 2 votes for Mandalorian already.
What the fuck?
Rally to Mando? Wow.
How is Mandalorian going to win Best Fantasy?
Because of our chat. They're Mando heads.
Again, Mandalorian is an amazing show. It is a great show. It's not a fantasy show, guys. I feel like Liam right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Where is Shadu to tell us that Mandalorian's not fantasy? Star Wars is not fantasy.
I'm about to text him right now.
Because of Zaddy Pascal. It's because he's Paycheck Pascal.
He was also in Game of Thrones.
Yes, he was. First. And you see his face. More. It's not a Cinderella story of Cinderella stories. It's like saying, oh, the Undertaker's going to win at WrestleMania. No shit. It's a better fantasy show. Laser swords. It's Harry Potter, but with laser swords. Did you not see the guy who's able to summon flames to his sword in Game of Thrones? You freaking... I mean, what's... Wow. It's not a TV show, James.
What's not a TV show?
Harry Potter.
Oh, it's got to be a TV show.
Yes, it is. Wow. Chat. Does it make it just because it is doesn't make it good? Wow, chat. Okay.
You disappointed me, chat. Not the first time you're disappointing me, but you're disappointing me, chat.
All right. Well, you just officially made it. There's 0 Star Wars brackets ever again.
And I bet you Shadu didn't answer.
Hold on. I need to check something here. Because if a Star Wars show won for best sci-fi show, it's not winning this. Well, I want to see if it's there. What do you think? What do you think won the best sci-fi show? Do you remember?
I don't remember. Oh, it was The Mandalorian.
Hey, James. Baby O's not his name. Get his name right. All right.
Got a name.
Just avenge Empire Strikes Back. Losing Empires is. We need a Megastars bracket. We did it. We did 4 of them. And yes, Mandalorian won that too.
Wait, did Mandalorian win the fantasy one?
Did not win the sci-fi one. So, but yes, we did Star Wars. We did lots of Star Wars stuff.
I mean, we have done best Star Wars show
and movie.
Yeah, and I'm sure Mandalorian won that one.
And character. And it was in the franchise. Yep. All right. To see who is going against the Mandalorian, we have Supernatural versus Hot D. Well, if Game of Thrones didn't win, there's no way Hot D is going to. They'll say, well, you lost that right. There's no do-over for Star Wars movies. You lost it. It's gone. It's gone. All right. Young Phil, Hot D versus Supernatural.
Hot D.
Hot D. I mean, who doesn't like the Hot D?
Exactly. That's my entire, like my reasoning behind all of this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in Westeros, if the Hot D is not your brothers, your uncles, it's not worth it.
Unless you're Jason Momoa and you just take it.
Exactly.
Oh God. That does not hold up in any way.
Why do you say that?
Sexual assault does not hold up. I'm sorry.
Anyone that listens to our podcast, what's usually the first negative we have in every episode as a bad thing? Hot D is basically a life of a family in Arkansas, but with dragons.
The life of a family in Arkansas. Oh yes,
that's true. The life of a family in Arkansas would vote for a radical dictator to rule them all. Yeah. All right, so we have. Hold on, let me check here. 2 for Supernatural, 2 for Hot D. All right, chat. You got to determine who's going to lose to Mandalorian here.
Who's going to lose to the Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Graveyard has just determined that, or like he's figured, okay, well, if you guys got Mandalorian into the last round of a fucking fantasy bracket, Mandalorian's winning this shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. Yeah. All right. Chat, say along. I got yours. Got yours. My sister also votes Hot D, but she's super busy right now. Says James.
Is your sister at your house right now?
Oh, if she's not in the chat, James, it's not counted. Because if I'm going to change people in my house's vote, it's all going to not Mandalorian.
Yeah, no, sorry. It only counts if they're in the chat. They have to. And that's the thing, is that's why I was trying to see if I could figure out how to do a poll, because then at that point, you have to be present in the chat for it to count.
Yeah. Well, as of right now, Supernatural is moving forward.
Really?
Yeah.
I voted for Hot D.
Yes, you did. I did not.
These Papa Murphy's people hate you both right now.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, no. They hate us at a take and bake place.
I thought it's California. You have to be baked to take it.
There is also that. By law, you have to be baked to take it.
Exactly.
You have to be baked to take the take and bake.
Exactly.
That is a tongue twister.
All right. Well, that means for the final, we have Supernatural versus The Mandalorian.
Jesus.
Best. No, Jesus isn't involved. Jesus was he in Supernatural? I don't think he was.
No, he is the greatest Supernatural, or he is the greatest fantasy character of all time.
He is. He is.
And I say that as a Catholic.
All right. Bill, are you going to vote for Mandalorian or Supernatural for the best fantasy?
God, you're about to make me vote between a show that I have argued is one of the best shows on TV, but it should not be in this bracket, versus a show that I have never seen. And it's like, do I vote for the show that I've never seen out of principle? Because it is a fantasy show?
Yeah. I don't recall Jesus being in Supernatural. God, yes, that was Chuck. I know that. I remember Jesus being there. 2.
Are they saying Jesus was in an episode?
So vote out of principle, Phil. So we have Sack Deadpool Supernatural, Sandra Supernatural, I'm seeing Supernatural, and 2 for Mandalorian. So Phil,
Yeah, out of principle, I'm going. I'm going Supernatural. Again, I love Mandalorian. It is one of my favorite shows. I'm very excited that they're coming out with a movie. I'm very excited to see more happening, with all that. But just, it is not a fantasy show.
correct. It is not.
Whereas Supernatural is considered one of the greatest fantasy shows.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, SMM Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna throw them under the bus. I realize who that is.
Uh-huh. It happens. It's in the bracket thus fantasy show. That's fair. That's fair. All right, so who is not voted in chat? Let's see here. Are you dropping that bass?
Dropping that bass. I think this is the song that I don't know if you saw my post on Facebook a while back, but I was saying like I am in the mood to go and like drop a hardcore Boiler Room drum and bass.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
This is the song that made me want to go and do that.
Okay. You want us to argue why Mandalorian should win?
Should win
It's
or shouldn't win?
James says should. So right now, Supernatural's winning. Blood is the water. That'd be a perfect song for Jaws.
Blood is in the water now.
All right, chat. We will give you another minute 30 to let us know Supernatural versus Mandalorian for best fantasy show.
Thank you. It shouldn't win because it's not fantasy. Again, guys, I'm not advocating in any way in saying that The Mandalorian is not an amazing show. I'm saying that it's not fantasy and it shouldn't win a fantasy bracket. This is still not as bad as Padme beating Darth Maul, but it's getting there. It's getting close.
I mean, in theory, we should have just thrown in E.T. into the best Star Wars character.
But the thing is that he is a Star Wars character.
I know.
His race is literally in Star Wars.
Begs the question: are the aliens? Are the predators?
At this point, they could be. If you look through, I don't think the xenomorphs would be because they're kind of fucking brainless, right?
More brainless than Jar Jar's species.
Fair, but I mean, like, but no, they are, because Gungans, as much as everybody hates Gungans and as dumb as they are, they do have a complex society created, whereas xenomorphs are more parasitic.
They're bees. They're hornets.
Yeah, like they're more of a, you know, they live off of, like, they're nomadic and they live off of whatever resources that they can get at that moment. Whereas
Gungans have a complex society. They have a structural society. They have like, you know, dwellings, government, everything like that. Boss Nass is a fucking government official for them.
I know.
Right? So yes, as dumb as they are, and I'm arguing politics with Star Wars right now, as dumb as they are, I would say they are smarter than xenomorphs. They're more developed than xenomorphs are. Versus predators, again, have a complex society and have rituals and have a societal structure, as evident in fucking Badlands and as evident in some of the last couple of Predator movies, where, like, you know, they kind of go more into like training and the fact that they have nuclear weapons and the fact that they have, you know, the technology that they have.
Mm-hmm.
It lays to bear that they have a societal structure, which means that they could have a government body that ruling body, which means they could be part of the Senate.
Yeah. Is that
Different tribes of predators. The thing is,
we don't know. We had a discussion. Are predators just like Spartans?
the thing is that they do live in a tribal society, but at the same time, I think what makes everything different with them is that they have spaceships. They have advanced weaponry. They have kind of like different things that make them like they are a I guess starfaring would be like there's in our society it would be a seafaring nation, right? So because they are a seafaring nation, therefore they are developed enough to the point where they can colonize, which is kind of what they do.
Yep.
Right. So that's the whole thing. They also came, and this is canon in their universe. They sent emissaries, and they do send emissaries. We know that. So that means that they have some type of government structure, right? But they sent emissaries to Earth in order to teach them how to build pyramids.
Yep.
Right. So that means that they have some type of directive. That means that they can go to underdeveloped planets and help development along. Right. There has to be some form of leadership in order to determine that is what they're doing and that they're sending ships to do that.
Now, did they only do that to get people built up enough to deem them worthy to hunt?
But that's the thing, is that whether or not that's the only reason they're doing it, which I mean, you know, arguably is, it still means that there is leadership and structure within their society.
Yeah. Like I said, they're probably not all hunters. I want to see, you know, the Predator, the accountant.
That would be fucking hilarious, but that would be on College Humor.
Oh, yeah.
And he would still have the mandibles, and he would just be like, "Hi, my name's Steve. I am the Predator. I am the Predator accountant." Sorry, you just got in my way. He startled me, and I did not know what to do.
I mean, can't you just imagine him like, yeah, so accounting, I left my gun, I gave it to this really buff guy in the jungle. Is that cool? That's requisition another one. This is the 5th one you lost this year.
I'm just imagining that conversation. He's just like, so I somehow survived this, and now that I'm doing this, like, what's his name? C. Benjamin, the guy who plays Archer.
Oh, H. John Benjamin.
H. John Benjamin. Right now, H. John Benjamin needs to play like one of the Predators.
Oh yeah.
So I somehow survived this explosion and made it back home. But I need a new wrist device and a new gun. And you got beat up by a human? You're supposed to be the best of us. About that.
It should be a thing. All right, chat. Your time is up. The best show, according to the internet,
Oh
that's
god,
fantasy.
it's the Mandalorian.
It's Supernatural. Yeah, 2 votes for Mando.
Oh, nice. James said, "No, it's Mando."
All right. That gives us into the last bracket we have to finish up. I don't know if we'll get to this, but we are going to best video game systems. Or most impactful, however you determine what's the best. You can say, oh, the controller sucked. Oh, you go, oh, this game didn't have plumbers, don't wear ties. You know, whatever your standard is.
This game doesn't have plumbers. It sucks.
Exactly. So first up, we have the 3DO that has plumbers, don't wear ties, versus the Sega Genesis.
The 3DO versus the Genesis.
Yeah. Hard one, I know.
Was the 3DO Panasonic or was that Sega?
Panasonic.
That was Panasonic. That's right.
Yep.
I remember the 3DO specifically because I had one game and one game only on the 3DO. It's all I cared about. Fucking game.
Yep.
And Gex is a fucking great game.
Yeah.
When the remake came out, I was fucking so juiced, and I forgot how fucking hard that game was.
It's really hard.
Yeah. I just remember playing it and enjoying it, and then going back and playing the remake, and I was like, God, this game is hard. I don't remember it being this hard.
Oh, it's quite difficult.
Yeah, it is a fucking hard game, man.
I mean, you know, I raise your hands even for the 3 if you even know what that is. Most people don't know what it is. I'm looking at mine right now. She's so pretty.
I mean, I obviously know what a 3DO is because I just named my favorite game on the 3DO.
I thought it was plumbers don't wear ties. Come on.
Plumbers don't wear ties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you want to play an interactive FMV porn? Yes, Sewong. Yes. Mega Drive, aka Sega Genesis.
Between the 3DO and the Sega Genesis, I go Sega Genesis.
Oh, yeah, hands down.
Yeah, I mean, the 3DO was it came out at the wrong time. It was competition for the PS1, and it was like the PS1 was also fucking just dominating that the 3D market.
Yep.
So it's just kind of like if they would have released that like a year earlier, it probably would have shit all over Sony.
That's the thing. Like, it came out about the same time that the Sega CD was doing stuff too, and most of the Sega CD games were just FMV videos as well, unfortunately. But yeah, Genesis is definitely moving on. Next up, we have the Amiga 32.
Oh wow!
Yes, I see mine. She's not good. Versus the PS3.
Oh god! Versus the PS3. The PS3.
Oh yeah.
The PS3 changed the market all over again. Like, how many times has PlayStation released something and just fucking completely changed and dominated the market all over again from the beginning?
The first 3 for sure. PS4, I would argue that doesn't do much with it.
No, but then PS5 also kind of took over the market. As much as I advocate for Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5 dominated the market.
Oh yeah, and it has VR, which
Yeah,
Xbox has yet to do VR.
What to do? They haven't done it yet, and they've had they've announced different things. It's because they focus more on the PC.
Bridges.
Yeah, that. I mean, no, they focus more on the PC market when it comes to VR.
Yeah.
Which is like a mistake, and honestly, they should
put some emphasis on adding it to the Xbox.
Mhm.
Like what they should really do. And Phil Spencer, I know you're listening. Actually, Phil Spencer's not even at Microsoft anymore, but I mean, still,
He's still listening. He's still listening.
He's still listening.
Mhm.
Phil Spencer, I know you're listening. You can tell your buddies that are over there right now. Put a VR headset on the Series X, and add that. And one that like I was gonna say do Steam access because they've been partnering with Steam on
Mhm.
on the Ultimate Game Pass for
Yeah.
Game Pass PC.
Yeah.
Right? Do that partnership on Xbox and get all those games that are on Steam, put them on VR, and you change the game for the console market.
Can you imagine Forza in VR?
That'd be fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
I know I've seen people do it on the PC port where they've like added VR headsets and kind of changed the way that the PC handles it, so that way you add in all those car parts and it is basically driving a car in real life.
Oh yeah. I was at a shop last weekend. The guy does that.
Yeah.
And which is amazing. But what PlayStation did with their VR, it said, "Hey, here's a USB dongle. Attach it to your PC and use our software or headset as your VR. And it's cheaper."
Yeah.
So, and Steam supported too. All right.
Well,
Well,
where they would change the game is if they did direct Steam integration on Xbox.
mhm. All right. Well, PS3 is moving forward. We had to get rid of some of these stinkers along the way. But we're gonna start getting the more difficult stuff. The NES versus the PS5.
Ooh.
Are we gonna see nostalgia rearing its head?
So what we're asking chat to do right now is the current dominating console
Mhm.
as
Yeah.
good or better than the one that started it all?
Yeah, and I will play devil's advocate a little bit because people go, the NES had a better library. Here's the argument that everyone's always going to say, right? The library on the NES is better. Okay, so keep in mind, there is maybe 50 to 75 good NES games. That's at max 10% of their library being good. It's 777 games. So for every Mario 3, you had such shitty other games.
And you also keep in mind the amount of and Sewong, don't hate me for saying this. The amount of shitty Japanese games that came out on that console.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you think Back to the Future, you think, hey, I'm throw bowling balls and collect clocks, because that's what happens in the movie. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
All right, who said what? Who's angry for what I said?
Silver Surfer was good. You know what? I was watching someone today playing Dark Souls. It came out, 8 years ago, but on the Switch that just came out with. And I said, I bet you more people have beaten Dark Souls than Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer was a fucking hard game, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Soundtrack, fantastic. Gameplay was not good. Not good. And not to name other channels, but, there's a certain nerd that plays video games that might be angry about it. And he's not ranting at how bad the PS5 is.
Oh God, I haven't heard that name in a long time. Oh no shit. Geek Saga over on their channel, they're interviewing Michael Bean's son right now.
I just had a guest on that's good friends with Michael Bean last night.
Yeah, that's true. We were supposed to interview Michael Bean live at an event a while back, and he had to pull out. But I mean, like, we have a lot of connection to Michael Bean around here.
We do. Yeah. That all being said, which one do I play more than anything else?
Probably PS5.
I agree. There's like PS5 is if I want to. I hate using those words. It's actually game. NES is a casual game at this point in time because it's not a huge investment.
Right.
That being said, the NES was phenomenal for the games they had. I am going to NES because as far as better systems, it did change what a video game system is supposed to be. It did bring back video games from just pretty much being dead.
Yeah, no, I agree. Nintendo saved the entire gaming industry.
Yeah.
With the introduction of the NES.
Yeah.
So gaming as we know it right now, the multi-billion-dollar industry that it is, wouldn't exist without the NES.
Yep. So, and Chad's in complete agreement too.
I was going to say also, like, the majority of franchises that exist now, like, their existence to the NES. Like, you look at how many fucking just long-lasting genre games exist now because they came out on the NES originally.
Yep.
So include Super Mario.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So NES is moving forward. All right. This next one might be difficult for a lot of people. The Nintendo 64 versus the PS2. Now, the NES or the N64 only had 277 games.
The N64 had so many iconic games on it, though. There were so many games. Again,
but would you say more than 30?
I don't know, because like the PS2 was another thing that kind of like, they kind of advanced a lot of genre too.
Yeah, Naughty Dog really found their way on the PS2.
Oh, absolutely did.
God of War. We have arguably where the franchises that Nintendo built continued and thrived in PS2. They did not thrive in N64. We had Mario Kart, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Jet Force Gemini, Mario 64.
Jet Force Gemini. Holy shit.
Conkers, yes. But yeah, I mean, N64 did give us Conkers. But I said percentage-wise, once again, Nintendo's hitting that 10% at best.
The other
games.
I was going to say the other big one is like a massive franchise to this day. Fucking Hideo Kojima, man. Like, Konami gave us so many games.
Yep.
That started on the N64, but became massive powerhouses on PlayStation.
Yep.
And the one that always comes to mind is Metal Gear, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I said, I love the 64, but as I'm telling you, as I'm going through the entire library that I'm going to do from release date, I'm telling you, the first two games that released on it were Mario 64, fantastic game, and just Pilot Wing 64, which is the worst game I've ever played on an N64. Yes, it had virtual pro wrestling games. I do have it. Yes, it did have, Nitro. It did have Mayhem. It did have WrestleMania 2000. It did have fantastic wrestling games, but the sports games, other than that, awful, absolutely awful.
Metal Gear Solid was Nintendo. I'm trying to remember the original Metal Gear game.
Metal Gear was on the NES.
Okay.
Original, it was on the NES.
Okay, that's what it was. I was like, because the original Metal Gear,
Yeah.
the game that started the whole series when Big Boss was like the main character and all that,
Yes.
that was a Nintendo release.
And the throwback here, the character he's portraying is Kyle Reese, played by Michael Biehn.
Nice. Because that's right. It was a port from the whole game was supposed to be a port off of a Terminator.
Yep. Well, I'm saying PS2. The 64 had good titles. They didn't really necessarily leave 64.
Yeah, no, you're right. PlayStation,
PS2.
PS2 specifically created a lot of long-lasting franchises.
Yep.
And also elevated franchises that were already on the console. So I'm also going with you on this. PS2 is probably going to be my vote for the better console.
Yeah, I mean, no one remembers fondly the controller or the 3-donger controller for the 64 versus PlayStation just capitalizing on what the controller is supposed to be with the dual shock, with the vibration,
Right,
with
DualShock
everything.
on the PS2.
Yeah. I said God of War is just one of my favorite games. Yes, Grand Theft Auto was in the PS1, but it really, really took a stride with Vice City and 3 and Liberty on the PS2.
Yeah. And a lot of that was just because of the advancements in graphics and everything, and it being able to do the things you can do on there.
Yeah.
PS2 also gave us the first Drake's Fortune, right?
No.
Wasn't that was on PS3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Naughty Dog each console they did something else for Naughty Dog. So, yeah, it's just to me PS2. Like I said, really made Resident Evil, Final Fantasy X, Okami, Kingdom Hearts, Beyond Good, Katamari, Virtual Fire, so Ratchet and Clank,
That's right, Ratchet and Clank.
Bully, Shadow of the Colossus, Icho. Yeah, it's just amazing stuff that just continues.
Shadow of the Colossus was another really good game. And it was
Yeah.
sad that they tried to do the remake and they just could not recapture that flame that the original game had.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Devil May Cry.
DMC, woo! And DMC just got a fucking anime.
It did.
I haven't seen it yet. Have you seen it?
No.
Reviews are good. I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Okay. So PS2 is moving forward. So don't get me wrong. I love the 64. I will kick everyone's ass in Mario Kart 64. I will do it. And yes, I know say well, Smash Brothers exists on 64. I get that.
I went back and played Smash on 64 recently.
Uh-huh.
I'm not done with it. The game got so much better when Brawl came out.
Oh yeah. But I mean I cut my teeth on that one, so
Yeah, I realized because I remember playing Smash back in the day with like my buddies and whatnot. Because I didn't have an N64. My neighbor had one.
okay.
And so I would go to his house and go play. And I just playing it. I remember like I was just like this, or going back and playing it. I was like, this is not a good game.
Sack Nipple Smash, the most preferred game name ever. I mean, we have the fractured butthole.
Fractured butthole.
And everything Ratchet and Clank was preferred in as well. All right, the last one we'll have for tonight. The PS1 versus the Xbox 360.
Oh, that was direct competition.
Yeah.
No.
No.
360 was competition with PS2.
360 was competition with PlayStation 3.
Oh, okay.
In 2007, 2008.
Right. 360 versus the PS1. PS1 has a lot of stuff that I remember being like, Siphon Filter and Metal Gear Solid and
Silent Hill, Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, like a whole bunch of games on PS1 that were kind of like, games that I gravitated towards.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox, I think Xbox the 360 takes the cake because just one game, one title alone, Halo.
Halo 2 specifically.
Halo 2 specifically, because Halo 2 was the game that changed everything for everyone.
Yeah. I said I had both. I had both consoles. I mean, I say I had all the consoles, but at that point in time, I bought both consoles. Because 360 is what I played Rock Band on. Guitar Hero.
360. I remember Rock Band and Guitar Hero. I was saying recently, I just wish they would come out with a new version of that game.
They stopped doing DLC for Rock Band 4 last year.
Yeah.
I still play it with my kids. Now, Gears of War, says Sack Deadpool.
Yes. Oh, Gears of War, another game-changing thing, because like at that point everybody's like first-person shooters are the shit, and then they brought it back to fucking third person and made everybody want to fucking. And I'm not gonna lie, when I was in the army, we used the Gears of War run just because we could,
Yeah.
and we realized Gears of War running, you could run faster, and if you just like really tried to run.
Yeah.
Especially like when you're carrying the amount of gear that we were carrying, right? You're doing a short sprint. We would do like Gears of War runs with all that gear on, and it's like, oh my god, we can run faster like this. Holy shit, this is real.
Yeah. So here's the devil advocate part of it. PS1 was, first off, a big middle finger to Nintendo.
It was.
It showed that CD-based games can be good.
Yeah, because Nintendo could not figure it out.
Correct. Now, say what you will about Final Fantasy 1 and the American 2 and 3, but Final Fantasy 7 is still, I consider, the standard for RPGs.
I got into Final Fantasy because of Final Fantasy 2, sir. Okay. Mainly because my cousin was really into that game.
But I'm saying it's what Final Fantasy 7 is what all Final Fantasies have tried to be.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it defined what an RPG could be.
Yeah,
and they really like focused in on that. Which I mean, again, it jokes aside, it is hands down considered one of the best games ever made. So I mean,
yeah, people have a special spot in their heart for 8 and 9 as well.
All I know is Sephiroth is badass.
Yeah. Sack Deadpool is because you kept after the Final Fantasy 1, you're like, wait a minute, why is there more than one? It's not the Final Fantasy after all.
If you guys understand the premise of everything, it's supposed to be the final moments in the world that you're in.
Yeah. But yeah, PS1 is just Final Fantasy. Are the graphics clunky? Is the growing pains there with this? Yes, but
Also,
Vagrant
first
or
gen of that
Driver.
console in the middle of when did PS1 came out? What, 99?
PS1 came out in 95.
Okay, 95, right? I don't remember exactly, but I mean, like the graphics at the time shat all over everything everyone else was doing,
Yep.
and they've done that every console release since.
Yeah. But you have Oddworld, Driver, Tomb Raider, Metal Gear Solid, all came out on the PS1. And yes, Halo 2 exists. Yes, Gears of War exists. I would say exclusivity, PS1 is a better system for exclusive games. If you are a huge RPG fan, you're going to say PS1.
Yeah. A lot of major RPGs came out on PlayStation.
And they're worth hundreds of dollars to this day.
Yeah.
Castlevania Symphony of the Night, PS1. The only RPG that 360 had was Fable. It was awful. I'm sorry. The Fable was not good. Although you had a wife in every town.
There are some people out there that will argue against that.
That's true. Not in Utah.
So, oh God. Some people will argue that Fable was one of the best RPGs ever made.
Oh. So right now, it is a tie. And we have Zach Deadpool and you and me and Say Wong. Because we're at the end of the show. So do we want to leave it? Because there's only two other people. It's, I think, just Say Wong and Zach Deadpool watching. We'll hold it at here with 2 votes and 2 votes for next week.
Yeah, we can hold it here and then kind of revisit it next week at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Beginning of the show. Let me see. Who do we got? Let's see. Who do we have? Or do we even have a guest next week? At the moment, we do not.
Okay.
We have a guest
just in case.
after that. Yeah,
Okay.
we have a guest on the 15th, but we don't have a guest on the 8th.
Okay.
So, yeah, we can revisit that at the beginning of next week's show.
Okay.
And guys, if there's any topics you guys want to bring up, you want to talk about, by all means, let us know. And we can find ways to bring it up in conversation. I'm trying to find like one quick piece here before we jump out.
Is it the clean slate?
The clean slate?
Yes.
It is not.
Damn. Why not?
Start with the clean slate.
You gotta say it as Pete Holmes, as Christian Bale saying it.
Is it a clean slate?
Exactly. It's okay, Sandra.
Is the answer helicopters?
The little boy's trousers.
Is it a young boy's trousers?
What part of my line of questioning made you think helicopters?
Well, if your aim is to shoot, I don't know. I'm just shooting in the dark here.
Yes.
Pete Holmes was a fucking genius for that. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. I want Pete Holmes as Batman in something. I think he should have been Batman in the Flash movie just to have different Batman.
God, yes. That would have been so good to have Pete Holmes as Batman.
Yeah.
Who are you supposed to be? I don't know. Who are you supposed to be?
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Did you find the piece, Phil?
I haven't found it yet. I'm gonna give up here in a second just so I don't have to keep you guys super long here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the other big thing that we got going on tomorrow, it is the return of Distance Jeopardy.
Yes, it is.
So we will be having a good time. I don't know which guests we're gonna have on. I've been reaching out to different people. I do know that there is a certain internet celebrity that has said that he is down as long as nothing comes up and gets in his way.
Uh-huh.
I know you know who I'm talking about because he responded today.
Yep.
Right. There are other internet celebrities that we are trying to see if they have time to come on because they are friends of ours, friends of the show, and we would love to have them on.
We're not doing Kit Drawful or Quiplash. We're not doing that game. We're doing Jeopardy, where we will be hopefully building this online trivia fight, I guess, between different nerd channels.
And that's actually what we've been trying to do is get other channels involved, so we can have
Teams.
eventually we're doing teams, but eventually we want to get to a point where we're doing who is the best nerd, and really it's just self promotion.
Oh yeah.
Because these people have a lot more followers than we do.
Yeah, that's
fine.
Very true.
Which is fine, but this just means we're having a shit ton of fun, and that's really what it is. We're trying to have fun with our friends that do have more followers, but at the same time, like, dude, come on and do something different than what you guys are doing on your channels. So,
oh yeah, no one, like I said, no one's doing this.
Yeah, this is strictly a DN thing.
They may be doing it within their own channel, or within their private chat, but no one is doing cross-channel stuff like this.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a battle for the king of the nerds. Potentially depends. There are certain guardians involved in this. There are certain just other channels. Let's just go with that.
They may crush us.
I was trying to find a way to do theirs. And I was like, oh, man, anything that I say is going to be way too obvious. So yours was a lot better than what was in my head. They may crush us. Yes.
Uh-huh. And then the idea is to build teams. And then hopefully we get other people as well to, make their own Jeopardy. We have full access to as many people as we want to make other people have questions and quiz us as teams as well.
Right. And that's the other thing is, like, again, if we build this community the way that we're trying to build it, guys, everybody wins in the end, and it's all just a bunch of, nerds sitting there saying, like, who's more nerdy? Which, I don't know, that could be a good or a bad thing.
Oh, I mean, we could break down a 3-second TV trailer and all the Easter eggs that you may have missed and make it a 15-minute show. But, we don't do that.
Oh, my God. You're just referencing everybody right now. Fun enough, guys. These aren't just offers. Like, these are actually people we know. So it's like it's gonna be a good time having these conversations with these guys and having this fun stuff. So let me close this up real quick here and let's move the camera over.
And yes, we will go back to some Jackbox games as well. Like I said, the idea is to build that community and just nerd out on games all together and just have fun. That's the entire purpose. It's not to nerd shame anyone. It's not doing any of that. It's just to
absolutely not
think about things that you've never thought about.
Right. No, Jackbox games, guys. We'll probably do that again next week. We've been building the Jeopardy for like the last 2-3 weeks. So this was just a chance to continue on with that. So we definitely do want to continue on and do more of these kind of Jeopardy's always fun with us, but then we had so much fun with Jackbox, and Graveyard now has every Jackbox game that is in existence.
So this gives us another chance to try and figure out how to get his whole thing working, and I think we figured it out.
Yep.
We just got to test it. But I think we figured it out.
Oh, and what's great about Jackbox is we have audience participation too, so you guys can play the games with us too, which is what I really like. Especially if you join as an audience member, you can help vote as well on these choices as well. So this is what we're trying to do: is build that community, and we want you guys there. So spread the word and have people watch us and vote to see who you think is the funniest person besides James on this channel.
100%. And again, that's the big thing, is we've always just wanted to build a big community, guys, and that's always been our goal, is to be as big of a community with all of you guys out there, and we want more interaction. You guys participating on this show. Again, we built this show specifically for you guys to be able to come and vote with us and give us your opinions on things. Yeah, I may get upset with the answers, but I mean, it really is a way for you guys to interact with us. So we want to do more of that. Hence, Jackbox Games. Maybe me and Graveyard on screen. Hopefully next time we do this, we have somebody else on screen that's also having fun with us and this stuff. But it's really more so you guys can play games with us, and we can all be funny together. So that is the goal, and that's why we're going to continue doing our Friday night events. We also do have more movie events coming soon, guys. So I mean, we're going to start gearing up for Fantastic Four pretty soon. We're going to be watching all the Fantastic Four movies with chat, so just be on the lookout for that. Now that we have the game chat, I can actually add that in there too. But I mean, when we get ready to watch all these Fantastic Four movies, remember, guys, you can watch it with us. There's a chat on the side, and it's basically Mystery Science Theater on some of your favorite movies. It's pretty funny because it's just basically me and Graveyard just dunking on these movies the entire time. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. So Graveyard, go ahead and give everybody your pluggable, sir.
Yes, I am Graveyard, co-host of the Mostly Pod Out Night Mostly podcast.
Oh yeah,
They mostly
Pod.
Mostly.
So new episode just dropped an hour and 14 minutes ago, so check it out. We're still in Japan. We're not leaving Japan. We're staying there for a little bit, so we might have a grudge, or maybe have some rings to find along the way. If you
yep.
Yeah.
My day.
Yeah, exactly. And make sure to check out Conversations in the Void. I had a blast with our guest last night, Stacey Lane Wilson. Independent creator, but she has some great connections. Working with her, potentially some composers for our next movie that we're working on as well. I'm excited. We're going to have new shows every week with special guests, and we're going to be taking a 2-week hiatus in June just because I'm going to make the next movie. So we'll see you there. Follow us all social media, Pod Out at Night.
Of course. Stretch for just a second here. I just realized I didn't have...
Also go follow me on Twitch as well, where I'm trying to do some work pending secret streams of Mario Maker 2 and playing some horror games, retro games, and starting my N64 catalog playthrough.
That's right.
Off for a fantastic start with Pilot Wing 64. Oh,
oh my God. I feel bad for you, man. I really do. Ladies and gentlemen, you know who I am. I'm your boy, Young Phil. Of course, if you want to get connect with us, you can connect with us on all social media places: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, not X. Still don't know why we have a Twitter. It's mainly because I'm too lazy to cancel it. Twitch, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Discord, Blue Sky, which is where we are more on now. MySpace, Vine, GeoCities, Friendster, Second Life, AIM, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, OnlyFans. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and Mandels, the beard, John Mez's glasses, sitting on a table judging you for not buying all of the merch. And of course, everything she will do for money, which there's not very much that he won't do for money. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like us to break up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, pet, schoolyard bully, annoying neighbor, just tell us how much you enjoy us, hate us, or wish the internet would consume us completely and spit us out at the feet of a talking accountant to the predators. Yeah.
And remember, if you want midi-chlorians, go eat some creatures like
if you if you want to become a real Jedi, right? Go and eat the creatures. You know, eat
All the creatures.
all of the creatures, all of them.
Original extinction.
Send us an email at dist. Oh God, insnerding@aol.com, and we will read it live on air. So as always, Bruce, go to sleep. And ladies and gentlemen, thanks, and keep nerding together. We will see everybody tomorrow for Distance Jeopardy. So we'll catch you all later. Bye. He's like, he didn't say the dance party. No, we're still doing it.
And maybe there'll be giveaways. Maybe.
Oh, you know what? That's what I meant to talk about. Yes, we got giveaways coming soon, guys. As soon as we hit 400 followers on YouTube.
Spread the nerd love, not chlamydia.
Exactly. I've got a Black Widow Build-A-Bear
Ooh.
and a mystery Lego kit. So 400 followers.
That'd be a good mystery gift bag. You just give someone a bag of Legos and say, "There's something to build here. We don't tell you what it is. Build it."
Fun fact: it's all extra pieces.
Nice.
Oh, and that's right. Sandra Betty has a giveaway, guys. So follow them on the Long Family Cosplay, and they're giving away a Warhammer hammer with D&D dice.
What?
3D printed.
Nice.
Pretty dope, actually.
Nice.
We'll see everybody tomorrow.